Meanwhile, in Brunswick County, there is now a burn ban in place for the town of Oak Island, Leland, and unincorporated parts of the county. So until further notice, no burning is allowed within 100 feet of any building. Much of the county is under extreme drought conditions. The dry weather and lack of substantial rain means fires could spread quickly. That burn ban will remain in place until further notice. It's likely we will see more burn bans, and we will keep you updated as soon as they come.